Hey guys, we are in the basement, and today guys, we're gonna do like a John's Arcade tech, that's right, a tech video, also a gameplay video, and a product review. Yeah guys, and actually I'm very excited, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because today, guys, we're gonna be talking all about Donkey Kong. Yes, my favorite game in the whole world. And guys, in this video here, we're gonna play a new version. That's right, a fan-made version of Donkey Kong. And actually, let's kind of review really quick kind of the history of this kind of stuff, okay? Because it's actually pretty neat that we have this community of game players and tech guys that are making modern little add-ons for these old games. And I think it's so cool because, you know, when I first got my Donkey Kong, which was about 8 years ago, okay? One of the very first things I ordered was this, okay? And this is a Scott Brazington high score save kit. And it was just, to me, amazing because here I have my favorite game that by default doesn't save scores, okay? And so this guy makes this modern board for this 1981 game that makes it save scores and also gives it high score save and free play with Attract, okay? So I had this board in there and I was on cloud nine. I couldn't believe it. I had this old game with this modern functionality, okay? And then a couple years after that, this guy, Jeff Kozlowski, I think I'm saying his name right, he creates a mod for Donkey Kong called D2K, okay, Donkey Kong 2. And this is a fan mod that adds more levels to Donkey Kong, and it's actually a chip that you drop into a Brazington high score save kit, okay? So here's my Brazington high score save kit with the D2K mod. And I got so into Donkey Kong 2. It was, I think, one of the best things ever that any fan has ever made, okay? And for years, I was playing this and I actually got pretty good at it. I was actually competing in this game at Richie Knuckles' tournament one year. Anyway, and also, if you're curious, I did interview Jeff Kozlowski on the Video Game Outsiders podcast, my podcast, about 6-7 years ago. If you want to hear that, go look for it. So anyway, I enjoyed this immensely for quite some time, okay? And then, like about a few months ago or a year ago, this guy in Germany, okay, Jochen Hippel, who has a website called highscoresaves.com, he comes out with yet another Donkey Kong Modern daughter board that adds even more and new functionality to this old 1981 game. Now, Jochen's board, which I currently have installed in my Donkey Kong over there, what it does is actually pretty amazing. It is a high score save board that, you know, obviously saves the high scores and also adds Attract and free play. But the one thing that his board does that blew my mind and still blows my mind is that after it saves the scores, it uploads them to the internet via Ethernet, okay, to his website at highscoresaves.com, okay? And so we did a review of that a few weeks ago, and I love it, and that's what's in my game right now. And then also, Jochen worked with Jeff Kozlowski to add D2K to it, which we have on mine also right now. And yes, I also have a D2K review on my channel if you want to see it. Anyway, so that has been the history of Donkey Kong and these mods so far until now, okay? This right here was created by John Kowalski, okay? And this is the D2K or Donkey Kong Remix board, okay? And what this board does is it turns Donkey Kong on its head completely, okay? It changes all of the rules. Now, this board is also gonna let us play original Donkey Kong, and then also this new version called DK Remix, and then even a third version called Donkey Kong Deranged, okay? And what is cool about this board is that we can combine it with our D2K board, okay? And we'll be able to play D2K, Donkey Kong Remix, and Donkey Kong Deranged if we combine these two boards. And that's what we're going to do in this video. The bummer is we have to remove Jochen's internet high score save board. And it really makes me sad because I love that, but I really want to check out DK Remix. It's supposed to be really cool, and I know my buddy Gak got one and loves it. So we're going to do that in this video. I really hope that, you know, John and Jochen can get together and add DK Remix to Jochen's board. But for now, we're going to put these two boards in my game, and I'm very, very excited to check out DK Remix. Actually, let's go over here, and I'll show you guys what's going on with my Jochen board. So right now I have Jochen's board in here, and you can't really tell, but the high score that I've had on here, that I've gotten since I installed this board was 92,400. Actually, my buddy Matt McCarthy got that. But it's Donkey Kong with high score save, and then if you go into the service menu, you can also select Donkey Kong 2. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. We want to check out Donkey Kong Remix. So what I'll do right now is let's pull the game out, and I need to remove my board. We need to remove Yokin's board, and then we need to get this Remix and D2K daughter board on here. And so let me get my junk off here. Let me pull the game out, and let's get that board and get to work. And yes, do you guys like my toys? John's got too much junk. So you guys can see up there I have my Ethernet cable. I actually had to run Ethernet to my Donkey Kong game. God, this is gonna bum me out, but you know what? Maybe those guys will get together and we can have an all-in-one solution so the fans win. But for now, we're gonna have to pull out Yokin's board. So, all right, let me pull the game out. It's got wheels in the back. And I'll actually just kind of show you Yokin's board. I mean, we'll look at it once we go to the desk here to look at the board. Luckily, Nintendo games are very light. So I think I'm gonna need a screwdriver to get my back door off. Let me grab a screwdriver and we'll get that board out. All right, I got a screwdriver here, and let's get the back door off. You know, it's actually interesting. The guy that made this DK Remix board, he's been working on this since 2007. And initially, his goal was to make an arcade perfect port of Donkey Kong for the Tandy color computer. Okay, yeah, the Radio Shack computer, right? So he made a port for it. Which, mind you, isn't trivial because it's completely different hardware and CPU and all that stuff. And I guess it was pretty good, okay? And while he was doing this, while he was making this port for the Tandy computer, he started messing with the game, right? And screwing around with the levels and adding stuff and just kind of modifying the gameplay of Donkey Kong, okay? And then I guess eventually he got it to a point where it was pretty good and he ported this Donkey Kong Remix to the Tandy Color Computer 3, which is a later model. And so the arcade guys, or actually the arcade Donkey Kong players over at the Donkey Kong Forum, which is where all those guys hang out, and I've been asked to join that, and I probably should. I know a few guys over there. Actually, Robbie Lakeman and Eric Howard have both played my Donkey Kong a ton of times, and Robbie actually kill screened my Donkey Kong last time he was here. But anyway, I guess those guys started playing this Tandy Color Computer 3 version, and they loved it. And so he kind of got inspired to kind of port the Tandy version of DK Remix to the arcade. And he got a lot of input from the guys at the Donkey Kong Forum, and here we are, and that's where we are right now with this board. So all the top players of Donkey Kong have had some input on this game, so I'm actually very excited to play it. So anyway, guys, this is my original Donkey Kong board. I have Yokin's high score save with the Ethernet here. I already unplugged the Ethernet, and right now I have, I'm just gonna go through and unplug all the little connectors. Now, some of the newer Donkey Kongs might use the edge connector, or if it's a Donkey Kong 3 cabinet or a late junior one, it'll have the edge connector right here. Mine is one of the original ones, which use these little tiny connectors. So you have to disconnect the board with all these little connectors and then pull it out. And then mine also has a thumb screw in the back here. I feel like we just did this because we did when we did the Yokin's high score save kit. So I'm going to do the thumb screw here, and then we'll pull the board out. And there's also a power connector on the video board on the other side here. So we're going to have to disconnect this one too. And this one, all right, so the board is completely disconnected and we could remove it. Just kind of pay attention to these plugs as you unplug them. I actually labeled mine a long time ago. It's really kind of unnecessary because they really can only go one spot, but a long time ago I was kind of green and I did it that way. So anyway, here is our Donkey Kong board. This is a 2-board stack. There was also a 4-board Donkey Kong stack that was used mostly in the cocktails. And then you also find it in some of the red Donkey Kongs that were originally radar scopes. Because radar scope was a 4-board stack, and I used to have a radar scope. You guys can go watch that video if you go back. But anyway, all right, let's bring this over to my desk and get to work. All right, guys, we have the board on the desk here, so let's kind of review. Okay, so this install is going to be a little different because we already have a modification on here, but really all this modification does is this board goes into the Z80 socket, which is the microprocessor, and then the Z80 goes into the board, and really that's the same principle with this kit as well. So what we want to do first is I need to remove this board, and I remember this board was really hard to get in. But I'm just going to kind of, actually, look at that, just pop right off. So, all right, so here's Jokin's board, which, again, I'm a little sad I'm removing it. Actually, I should talk to Jokin. Maybe we can get some other ROMs on here, and I could throw this in my Frogger or something, because he's got these boards, these Internet High Score save kits. I wonder if I could put it in my Donkey Kong Jr. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe we could still use this. But for now, we're going to have to remove it. But I need to get the Z80 out of here. And so John told me that his board, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to work correctly with the Z80 chips that are NEC branded, okay? And there's a specific model, and he tells you that in the instructions. So mine is a Sharp Z80, so we should be fine. If not, I've got piles of Z80s over there, so... But let me go ahead and just remove the Z80, okay? Now, if you're using a stock board, you would do exactly what I just did right there, okay? You would just remove the Z80, but from the PCB, instead of a daughter board. And so by default on a stock Donkey Kong, the Z80 would be right here, and you want to just come in and just carefully I use a very flat screwdriver, just kind of lift it out, you know, one leg at a time, and don't dig in. It's a little hairy at first, but you know, this screwdriver here, I've removed thousands of chips and it just works great. Don't get a really big manly screwdriver. It's got to be really thin like that. Anyway, so the Z80 is out, okay? So what we need to do is this. And again, this is kind of an unorthodox install, okay? We are basically combining kits here to get the best of all worlds, okay? We're going to combine the Brazington High Score Save Kit, which has D2K on it, with John's DK Remix board, which has a Donkey Kong Remix, Donkey Kong Deranged, which is an insanely hard version of Donkey Kong, and then standard Donkey Kong. So we're going to have like 4 different versions of Donkey Kong. So what we need to do is install his board into Brazington's board, okay? And we need to observe polarity, okay? Now, if we weren't doing this, okay, actually, if we didn't have the D2K board, all we would need to do is install our Z80 chip into the Remix board, and we have to observe polarity, okay? And the Z80 has a notch right here that indicates leg 1, and if you look on his board, there's also a notch right here which indicates leg 1, okay? And then also you could see that in the artwork of the silk screening, there's a little notch right there. So we just need to line up our notches, and I usually do one side and then the other, and then just kind of make sure all the legs are in. And they are, and then just kind of press firmly, okay? Now, if we are only installing the DK Remix board, we would then install this board into our Donkey Kong board, again, observing polarity, and if we look at the board really close here, well, we could see a couple things here. First of all, we could see that there's a pattern, okay? Because usually all the chips are facing the same direction, so there's a notch here, there's a notch here, there's a notch here, and therefore this chip should also have a notch on this side. And then if we also look on the artwork, leg 1 is in the top left corner here, okay? So if we were going to install only this board, we would go ahead and make sure that leg 1, this little mark, is where leg 1 is on the board, and then just kind of carefully push it into the Z80 socket, and then we would be done. However, we're not going to do that because we are going to also use the D2K Brazington board. So I'm going to go ahead and put leg 1 on John's board into leg 1 on Jeff's board, and we're going to combine the two. And this is going to be really interesting to see how this works. I never thought I'd see the day where we're piggybacking mods, but hey, it's supposed to work. John says it will, so I'm excited to actually see it. It's actually a great little solution to make his board play nice. Okay, so we got a leg coming up right here. I'm noticing. And we might be fine. Alright, so let's go ahead and line up leg 1 to leg 1. That looks pretty good. So I'm just kind of double checking my work, looking all around. And it looks like everything's lined up, so I'm going to go ahead and apply pressure here. And it went in really nice. So I'm just looking all around, making sure there's no legs hanging out or anything like that, and it doesn't appear that way We have pin 1, so everything's lined up. So now we just take Jeff's board with DK Remix piggybacked onto it and plug that into our Z80 slot. Again, making sure 1 is where 1 is. So let's kind of double check our work. 1, 1, 1. We have all our legs in, and I'm just going to kind of evenly apply pressure here and try not to flex the board too much. I usually kind of come underneath like that to just support it a little bit. And again, you know, the first time I did this, it's a little hairy, man. Okay, it looks good. Just kind of double checking here. So Jeff's board, or John's board, kind of barely clears Jeff's board, but I think it's okay. I don't see anything really touching metal to metal or anything. All right, so I'm just kind of double checking my work, make sure everything's in okay. And I think we're fine. So that's really it, okay? And then when we plug it in and turn it on, supposedly we should go right into the DK Remix menu. So why don't we go over to the cabinet and put the board in and see what happens. All right, guys, I got the board here, and I'm just putting it back in the cabinet. I already applied or connected the power cable on the video board on this side. And so now I just need to go through and just make sure I get all the little connectors where they belong. And this is sound, which is right here. The sound one's tricky because it can go all the way to the left or all the way to the right, and it goes all the way to the left. It's like a 2-pin connector and a 4-pin socket. This one I labeled P8, which is right here. I guess it does kind of help to, this is counter, which is right there. I remember when I first got my Donkey Kong, I was changing this board out all the time because I only had the one game, right? And I had a Donkey Kong Jr. board. And so I was constantly swapping between DK and DK Jr. And it was a major pain in the butt. Here's the video cable. Get that right there. So what else we got hanging out over here? Let's see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, right here, the coin switch. Goes right there. So just make all your little connections again, and if you're lucky, you have an edge connector and you don't have to do any of this stuff. And then this is P9, which goes all the way in the back here. Okay, so that should be everything. Just kind of double checking my work, making sure I didn't miss anything, and we're ready to turn it on for the first time here. And yes, I was doing that with the game off, by the way. Okay, so I think that we should test it before we put the game back in its hole. So I'm not going to roll it back just yet. But let me kind of get the game in a spot so we can actually see the screen. Now, John said that the very, very, very first time you power this game on, it's going to go into the service menu, which is going to allow us to select all of our options, okay? And then later, it's not going to do that, which is a little different than the D2K kit and also Jokin's kit. So the only way to get into the service menu and change the settings on this board is to hold down player 1 and player 2, if you have that option turned on, while you power the game on, or hold down the service switch inside the coin door while you turn the game on. So I'm not sure I really like that, to be honest, but I guess that was probably the best solution so that this game could be compatible with the D2K board, because the D2K board is going to be looking to control player 1 and player 2. All right, so there we go, success. So it has booted into the Remix menu, okay? And I should probably adjust my monitor while we got the game out. I think the last time we did this, I bumped the pots on the board, the video adjustment pots, and my screen moved over to the right. Anyway, okay, so this is the Donkey Kong Remix menu. It says hardware options. So on the power on game is DK Remix. I don't think I want that. I want to do the Donkey Kong. Oh wow, look at that. The Donkey Kong PCB ROMs. That's interesting. So it can load. Oh, that's really interesting, because as far as I know, the D2K kit actually doesn't access the ROMs. The Brazington kit doesn't access the ROMs on the Donkey Kong PCB. It actually is a modified ROM set, okay, that's on the Brazington kit that that has been modified to save the high scores and have free play with the tracked. So it looks like he has it so it'll access the PCB ROMs. So I want to see what it does if I boot into Donkey Kong PCB, okay? The setting menu is hold player 1 and player 2. I want that, okay? And that, I believe, is on power, okay? You can switch games by holding the jump. Save scores all. We definitely want that, okay? So the remix settings, the dip switches are soft menu. We definitely want that. That means that it's gonna, whatever we set in here is gonna be the settings, or you can set the dip switches on the PCB. If we were to select PCB, it would ignore the soft dip switch settings, because the Donkey Kong PCB itself has dip switch settings, has dip switches that you can then set using his guide that he includes with the board. But I want to use the menu dips. Donkey Kong Remix, 3 men, difficulty, normal, bonus of 10,000, coinage, I want to do free play. So Deranged, soft menu, Jumpman, 3, bonus of 10,000, we'll just leave all that. I think 7,000 is actually, is that the, yeah, we'll just keep it. It doesn't matter. 7 or 10 is easy to get to. So regular Donkey Kong, yeah, bonus at 7 is the default. So we'll do 3 free play. Okay, so let's go save and exit. All right, so here we go. Okay, now it booted and we went into Donkey Kong 2. That's interesting. So now Donkey Kong 2 is on, and there's all my high scores from Donkey Kong 2. That's interesting. So now, if I press 1 and 2 player, hold it in. Okay, look at that. It switched over to Remix. And right now, oh, that's Donkey Kong 2. What's going on here? Here it is. Okay, there we go. No, what is that? That's regular Donkey Kong. I'm so confused. There we go. I held in the jump button and it went to Remix. All right, so we're gonna have to get the button switching straight here. So I think that, so we're in Remix. So if I press 1 and 2 players, I'm seeing what happens here. Okay, what version is this? This is Remix, isn't it? Or is this D2K? This is Remix. It's weird, there's like a little spring over there. Okay. I'm curious what this spring does. I have to know. Alright. Well, this is pretty crazy, right? I just want to be able to figure out that switching. John explained it to me in an email, and it's not confusing. I need to get my head around it. I wonder if it's because I have it set. I think I should select the default game to be Donkey Kong Remix, and then let D2K's Donkey Kong be the one I play. Jesus. This is actually pretty cool. Oh, okay, that was beyond cool, guys. Did you just see what happened? The barrel fell off the level, hit the spring, and sprung up to where I was. All right, that was amazing. This is very clever. All right, let's try the hammer. Because I heard you can jump with the hammer. Oh, man. Okay, we're gonna, don't worry, we're gonna set up the camera and play this for real and really try to get good at it. And I might just play this for a while. I don't really care. So I'm just curious. So if I hold in jump, it should go from game to game to game. Okay, so that's Deranged. If I hold in jump again. Oh, okay, so it looks like I just need to hold the jump button down and forget 1 and 2. So this is D2K. So if I hold in the jump button right now, it should go to Remix. Yes, okay. Wow, that's super slick. That's actually very slick. So the jump button will go from DK Remix to Donkey Kong Deranged, hold in jump button, and then to the D2K board. And then when I'm in the D2K board, I can actually press 1 and 2 players. Let me just try this. Okay, I get it. So if I want to play regular Donkey Kong, so this right here is regular Donkey Kong, right? I'm pretty sure it is. No, that's D2K. That's regular Donkey Kong. Okay, and we're playing regular Donkey Kong from my D2K board, not the Remix board, because those are my scores from before when we were doing the John's Quest for videos. All right, I'm starting to get this. So let's hold in jump, and then we'll go to Remix. Let me see if it works. Yes, okay, I totally get it. Wow, you know what? That's actually pretty slick. It actually totally works, and it's amazing that I'm able to combine the two boards and make it work. So, all right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna push the game back in its hole. Let's get the camera set up, and I wanna really play some DK Remix and see what's different about it. And also the Deranged, because the Deranged, I think, is regular Donkey Kong, but really not very forgiving. So let me push the game back, and we'll come right back. All right, guys, we got the game back in its hole, and yes, I put all my toys back up top. But anyway, let's remove the bezel. And by the way, I was just playing with the buttons. I totally have my head around what's going on. It's actually pretty slick how it works. So jump, you hold in jump, and it goes from Remix, then to Deranged, then you hold it again, and then it boots to the D2K board, okay? And then the D2K board does like a cold boot, okay? And then I have it set by default to load into vanilla Donkey Kong, and then if I hold in 1 and 2 player button while I'm on the D2K board, it then boots to D2K, and then on either of those, if I hold in jump, it then goes back to the Remix board. That's actually very slick, I have to say. So hats off to you for making that work, because that's actually a dream come true to have D2K and Remix on one board. Now, if we only had the high score save, the internet high score save thing, we'd be all set. So anyway, let me get the camera in a good spot here. I took the bezel off, which will make it look a lot nicer. So let's kind of zoom in on here. And all right, let's play some Remix. I'm actually very excited to see all the different levels, and hopefully we don't suck too bad and we can see as much as possible in this. Let me see if I can get just the right spot here. Donkey Kong is such a film to pain. A film to pain. A pain to film. All right, so here we go. So it says here, Donkey Kong Remix, Nintendo 1981, remixed in 2015. So let's start a game. All right, so far, so normal. And the high score is 7,650. 25 meters, how high can you get? So obviously, like we saw before, the first level is very different. So I'm just gonna work hard to clear the levels, so we can see as much as possible. Oh my God, dude, the barrel flying up, that is genius. The barrel goes down here, hits the spring, and then goes up. That's amazing. We might have to change the settings maybe to have more lives just so we can get through this. It's really interesting. You don't know if it's going to go left or right. Oh my God, this is brutal. You know, it's funny though, because when I got the D2K board, it was the same kind of discovery. It's like, I didn't know what to do, and it took us forever to figure out how to play D2K, and I have a feeling this is gonna be a similar experience, because there's all these little quirks and little things that you just assume are gonna happen, and they don't happen. I mean, just the fact that the barrel can go left or right there, that's a wild card in itself. And the fact that I have to worry about, oh my God, barrels coming from that spring, that's amazing. Like that. All right. All right, good. I love that. That is, that's super clever. Good job, man. Have that spring shoot the barrel up. All right, so is this as it appears? I'll do my pattern and we'll see what happens. So far, this is pretty standard. Which is actually a nice relief. That's why I like D2K too, because you play the weird levels and then you get a relief when you go back to the normal levels. But John was telling me in an email that I think he starts screwing with the levels. So I think the next time we come back to this level, it might even be a little bit different. All right, I don't, should we try point pressing? If I can get him to come down, we'll try it. Let's see if that even works. I'm sure it does. Yes, it does. So we're not going to point press. Oh, that was cool. That was a different animation there. How many, bonus stage, how many can you get? What? All right, this is a blue hammer. Okay, so you could jump with the blue hammer. What is happening here? This is pretty neat. Okay, that is cool. So you could drop the level on them. So it says jump 0. I'm guessing how many fireballs can we jump? Oh, the time ran out. Okay, that was really neat. All right. Whoa, what the hell? It's backwards. Okay, that threw me for a loop. So Mario started on this side instead of the left side. Holy cow. This is madness. Oh my god. Shit! That's a long ass ladder right there. Boy, is that screws your mind, man. Just that little change. Run away! Jesus. Come on, give me an opening. I am tense here. Alright, I'm not point pressing, no way. How am I doing for my first time playing this? That was a total mind F. Alright, so what is different about this? Maybe nothing? I'll play it straight up. Again, I'm not point pressing, I just want to pass. Oh boy, here we go. So, we have a hammer that is blue, which means that we can jump with it, I'm assuming. So I'm wondering if this level will fall after I drop this rivet. No. Oh, it will! Okay, that's wild. Alright, that's pretty cool. Gotta say. Alright, am I trapping myself, though? Oh man, I don't want to die. I want to see more of this. Come on up. Come on. So I don't know what to do here. Do I dare jump him? Let's see. Yes, that worked. Okay. Oh man. Can I make that jump? Dare I try it? Yeah, I can. Can I fall? No! Ah! One more rivet. All right, guys, this is pretty cool. I'm wondering what do I do right now? Do you want to try it again? Should I maybe play and see if we can get to the same spot? Why don't I do that? Why don't I play it by myself? I'll get to that same spot and we'll see if we can continue. All right, guys, I am back. So I haven't lost a life left. I haven't lost a life yet, and I'm on the elevator. Oh my God. That's when I lose a life, really? All right, let's quickly blast through this, and then we should be where we left off, and hopefully we could do it. Go down. Oh my God. Really? Am I gonna like die like 3 times on this stupid level? That was lucky there. Alright. So now I think we should be where I died last time. Which is that weird rivet level. Yes. Okay, so I guess the big question is what is the pattern? So why don't we get them all on this side? And then quickly get that hammer. Come on up, come on up. Alright, and then we should be able to drop him. Shit, shit, shit! No, I knew that was gonna happen. See, that is so cool. So you cannot be on this when it... Oh, that was dumb. Alright, I think my pattern was relatively close to what you want to do. Yeah, I want to go across here. So let's smash them. Oh, I only got one. No, 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 this is a bad spot. Alright, so I see why the jumping matters. That was cool. Alright, so I'm in a horrible spot, though, because I need to get down there. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. Because I can't fall. Because I did that last time and died. And I don't think you can jump to the ladder. This is the death spot right here, man. Go, just get out of here. What do I do? Can I jump down to that level below me and not fall? I don't think so. Maybe I can. No, you can't! Boy, that's tricky. This reminds me a lot of when we were trying to figure out D2K, because it just absolutely screws with your mind. I'm just gonna mix this up a little bit. Alright. Shit! Oh, guys, I don't know what to do. I think we're gonna just give up right now. I feel like I need to play this a whole bunch and get good at it and come back and do a proper video, maybe with Matt one night. This is the kind of game that Matt would get really good at. So, oh, that's fun. I gotta say, this game is very, very interesting. Who knows what's going on here? What is this thing? Ah. Very, very creative game, John. Really super creative. Hats off to you. I mean, to think this guy's been working on this since 2007. Oh, that's a long time. And I think that I think you guys can go play this on the Tandy Color Computer 3. I think if you Google Donkey Kong Remix, I believe you released the ROMs for the Tandy. So I tell you what, why don't we at least check out Donkey Kong Deranged? And I actually don't even know what that is, so I just held in the jump button. So here's Deranged. So this is basically just Donkey Kong, but I think whatever you've trained yourself to know is out the window on this. I wonder if this is a game that would benefit from 5 lives instead of 3, because I know D2K, like the tournament setting was 5 lives. So let's see what's different about this. Jesus. I'm already doing weirdly bad. Great. think the difficulty is just ramped up. I think that the level goes even higher. Like it gets harder and harder and harder. Yeah, see the barrel did a little twist there. Did you see that? That was not your typical feels like there's just a lot more barrels on the screen. I don't know if I'm imagining it now, but jeez. Yeah, I think this is just an amped up version of Donkey Kong. When we're done here, I'll read you what he told me about it. Why am I point pressing? Yeah, I feel like the barrels are coming out at a really heavy clip. Wow. All right, so listen, we're going to stop here. We're definitely going to revisit this game. I will be doing more videos of this. I mean, this is right up my alley, guys. This is cool. This is fun. This is fresh. You know, I played D2K to death. So this is D2K in case you guys want to see. So I have it right now. The D2K board is set to boot to this, which is the regular Donkey Kong. So let's hold in 1 and 2 player. And now it's going to boot to D2K. And I'll just show you guys D2K so we can kind of compare and contrast. So this is D2K. And similar idea to what John did with the remix, except it's different. It's not the same. I think that John seems a little more creative. Not that this is not creative, because I think this is really good. And he was the first one to do it. At least for the arcade. But I had so much fun playing this, and so much fun figuring this game out, and I'm incredibly rusty. I tried playing this not too long ago, and I really forgot some of the patterns and the timing for some of the jumps, because there's some later levels with conveyor belts that are just tricky unless you know the little pattern. But man, when Jeff released this, I was so into it. I really would like to see John or anyone do a Donkey Kong Jr. 2 or Donkey Kong Jr. Remix. I know there was a rumor for a long, long time that Jeff, who did D2K, was going to do Donkey Kong Jr. 2, and it never came out, which is a real bummer. Because that's a game that really needs an update and some new levels. So this here is just plain old Donkey Kong right now, this level. He didn't change this. I know that he modified one thing on this game, is that the barrels stay on the level. Because on the original Donkey Kong, to save memory or whatever, if you were up higher, the barrels would actually disappear off the level and they wouldn't make it all the way to the bottom. It's a weird little thing that you wouldn't really notice unless you're looking for it, and Jeff corrected that on this. Because you can see that the standard barrels make it all the way to the bottom, but in the original, they sneakily were just falling off the screen and never making it to the bottom. Like they would just fall off like right here and just disappear. And I think they did that to save memory so they didn't have to keep track of the barrels down here. And then Jeff added this intermission too, which is cute. Very, very Pac-Man-ish. And you can see Pauline dropped all her loot, her hat, and her umbrella and stuff. So this level here, see, I can't remember the timings. This game is tough. It really is. And Matt and I got really good at it, and I suspect we're going to do the same with Remix. This is the kind of stuff that really gets Matt going. He likes a challenge, and I like watching him do better than me. Alright. So the one thing on Jeff's game is that you can easily jump the fireballs. They don't double back on you. So you can safely jump them. They won't turn around midstream, which does happen on regular Donkey Kong. I'm not sure if Remix does that too. So we gotta just time this here. Which one are you gonna go up? That one? Okay. Alright. Shoot, I kind of screwed myself here. Lucky. So Jeff's got a bunch of those crazy jumps in here, and I'm wondering what we can get away with on that girder level that John had on his remix board. We did okay there. I'm telling you though, when I first got this game, we tried forever and ever and ever to just get past that level, you know? And so he's doing the levels out of order here because the cement factory's here. And there's only one fireball, that's right. And what's tough about this is that you have to get to the ladder and Pauline, whereas on normal Donkey Kong, you just need to get to the conveyor belt right here, and if you get there, the level clears. On this version, you need to get all the way to the ladder that Pauline's on, so we gotta really time this. See, normally we would have cleared this level. Just a little mod, you know, it really screws with the game in your mind, especially if you're so conditioned. Another little cutscene. Reminds me of Congo Bongo. This is the one that I don't remember how to do. And Matt and I had this down cold too. The timing of this. Let's see if we can do it. Because if a spring comes out, you can't jump it and you're screwed. Shit. So yeah, I mean, D2K, I've done videos of this before. You guys get the idea, but now we've got even more Donkey Kong, and the fact you can combine these boards, I love, 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 love. So John, thank you for making that work with D2K. That if that's a bonus or an accident, I don't know what happened, but I love that. So what'd you guys think? Pretty cool, right? I mean, come on. We got some more Donkey Kong, some new Donkey Kong to play. So to order this board, I'll tell you guys, it's not easy. Well, it's easy. You have to contact him because he doesn't have a website. I do know that he's selling these boards on Yokin's website, which is highscoresaves.com. And then I guess he'll be selling the board soon on arcadeshop.com. Or you can email him, and I'll tell you his email address here in a second. You can email John at Donkey Kong Remix at gmail.com, easy enough. And then also he has a Twitter account, and so right now if you want to get that board, I think it's, how much is it, $70? I believe it's 70 bucks if you want just Remix, and I think, don't quote me, I think it's 70 and 90 or 60 and 80. It's one of those two. It's 70 if you want just Remix, and then 90 if you want Remix and Deranged. Now, Deranged here, I'm just wondering if he tells me on here what was different about it. I know that he went through it in one of my emails. Let me just see if I can quickly find it, because okay, so here's what John says about Deranged. Deranged is an alternate version of Donkey Kong in which all sorts of internal difficulties, timers, speeds, types of wild barrels, maximum number of fireballs, etc. can reach higher levels than they would in the original Donkey Kong. It's a more challenging version of Donkey Kong. So it's an amped up version. So anyway, guys, that's super cool. I'm jazzed to have it. And if you guys want to get one, email John at donkeykongremix@gmail.com or go to highscoresaves.com, which I think is Yokin's website. I'm not sure, or maybe it's Yokin's partner who ships from the USA. I don't know, but highscoresaves.com sells the Brazington kits. They have Yokin's kits, and they also have this kit, the DK Remix, and also all kinds of other kits, Yokin's kits for all the Z80 processor games. So if you want to get DK Remix, or even Donkey Kong 2, go to highscoresaves.com. If you want to get DK Remix, email John at donkeykongremix@gmail.com. And then also, you'll be able to get this soon at arcadeshop.com. So there you have it. John, great job, man. I'm looking forward to figuring that game out and learning all the little nuances, because that was, I'm having flashbacks to D2K, because when Matt and I were really trying to get good at D2K, it was so fun playing Donkey Kong in a fresh new way and discovering all the little things and, oh, can I jump here to here? Can I make that? I don't know, because at first you're scared, and then you start discovering that you can do certain jumps that you thought you couldn't do, and you just barely make it. So it's gonna be fun figuring out those kinds of things with Remix. So John, great jobs. All right, so let's do some viewer mail. If you guys want to participate in the viewer mail segment, you need to email them to me at blkdog7@gmail.com. That's blackdog7@gmail.com. In the subject line, please put viewer mail, otherwise I won't find it. So first one here is from Zach. Hi John, my name is Zach, and I went to Fun World. You guys remember we did that road trip to Fun World in New Hampshire? In New Hampshire. Well, Zach went up there on April 20th, and he took some photos of the Galaxian 3. Now, when we were there, we saw it. It wasn't working, but it was this giant, like semi-sized Galaxian game, massive, like one of the biggest video games ever made, Laserdisc too. And he took some photos of the Galaxian 3 for me, and sadly it was still down, and now it is covered with a blue tarp hidden out of view. I hope that someone can save this game as the arcade is being fixed up and lots of games are going out and are replaced with newer games. Oh my god, guys. So listen, I think this is a call for help here. So I printed out, I thought, a picture, but we can kind of show it here. So look at, they put a blue tarp over Galaxian 3. Guys, I think the game's on its way out. And you know, that is one of the only, if not the only Namco Galaxian 3 Laserdisc games in the entire world. And guys, I don't have the resources or the room to move that. I had a friend that I thought did. I told him about this. So listen, if one of you guys can go save this, go save it. It's Galaxian 3 Theater, they call it, and that's at Fun World in New Hampshire. And so Zach, thanks for the intel. Maybe someone out there will hear this and do something, because we need to save that game. I really hope they don't destroy it, because that would suck. So next one here is from Ron. Hi John, I just finished watching your Quantum Rebuild number 4. During the viewer mail segment, you were discussing surge protectors. I discovered a Belkin surge protector on Amazon for $38.52 that remotely switches off anything plugged into it just by using the included remote control. There are a total of 8 receptacles, 2 of which can be configured to remain on even when the others are switched off. I ended up purchasing 2 of these, which allows me to split them so they can be plugged into different circuits. I can now turn on and off all 9 of my arcade games with just the push of the remote control button from 10 feet away. See the attached photo. Great work at helping to keep the hobby alive. And so yes, I've seen these. I actually have a lot of friends that have these power switches, these little surge protectors that come with a remote control, okay? And so you can have the, 8 games plugged into this, and the cords can all be behind, and then you just turn the games on with the remote. So yeah, I failed to mention that. I know a lot of guys do it that way, and so that is a very good recommendation. Next one here is from M. Mole. John, I have seen you use the deoxit cleaner on edge connectors. What flavor do you use? I see there are a few offered. P.S. Why no love for Williams Sinistar? I never hear any mentions of it anywhere. Run, coward, run! As always, thanks, Mark from Michigan. Oh, deoxit, the contact cleaner. I actually have to go to the garage. Hang on. Okay, I went to the garage, and this is what I use. It's called Deoxit D5. Deoxit D5. Now, this stuff is good, and I used it a lot on Computer Space. The one thing that I don't like about it is that it's greasy, because I think it also is a lubricant. So just keep that in mind. The lubricant doesn't seem to harm anything. It doesn't seem to be conductive, but it does leave a residue, because before I was using Deoxit, I was using just regular old contact cleaner, electrical contact cleaner that you can get at an automotive store. And that stuff, I think, has a heavy alcohol content, and it would evaporate, and it wouldn't leave any residue. This stuff does. But I do think this, I think most guys consider this to be the best contact cleaner out there. It's not cheap though. It's 15-20 bucks for this little can here. And I've been buying on Amazon. Maybe there's a better source. I haven't found it. But or I'm too lazy to go to a store. So I love Amazon. But yeah, it's Deoxit D5. They have another one that is specifically designed for hi-fi audio and stuff, and I think it has even more lubricant in there to kind of lube up pots, you know, knobs and stuff. But just be careful with this stuff, because I have read some things online, because I did research this, and I read some stuff in some of the audiophile forums where guys were saying that they ruined their expensive, you know, vintage hi-fi with this stuff. So just be careful with it. I got lucky. We had no problems with computer space, but I have read stuff online. And I've also read the opposite, people just freaking out about how amazing this stuff is. So it's Deoxit D5. That's the standard, as far as I know, that's the standard Deoxit. So, all right, guys, we're done. That's it for this video. I do want to tell you again, if you go to iankellogg.com, the month of April, you can get 15%. And in the last video, I said 10%. It's actually 15%. If you go there, you can get 15% off your entire order. You can get some John's Arcade branded cap kits. Yes, yes, guys, the highest quality stuff with my name on it. And Ian does a great job with these cap kits. He really uses the highest quality parts and also labels all the caps, making it very simple and quick to do cap kits. And we've used these before, and obviously we'll be using them again. And he's been doing some fun stuff too, like he made this a pole position or Atari AR power supply bulletproof kit that requires no splicing, okay? And we're gonna be putting this in the pole position too, because if you guys remember my pole position, I did that bulletproof mod, which did require me to hack up the harness, and this is a no hack modification that basically jumpers the edge connector and brings power to the test points on the board. And I'm definitely going to be installing this in the pole position too. So anyway, go to iankellogg.com during the month of April and use coupon code JohnsArcade4, that's right, the number 4, and get 15% off your entire order. He's got cap kits, parts kits for everything, pretty much everything you need to fix these games. And again, Ian is a stand-up guy. He's honest, he's bright. I love him, and that's why we're doing this together, because I really believe in what he's doing, and it's also a way to support the channel. So, and then, you know, I should probably tell you guys about Brofest too, because we're doing an arcade tournament. That's right, the Arcade Outsiders at Fun Spot, New Hampshire. I'll go real fast here. We have a website up. You can register. It's June 3rd and 4th. Go to arcadeevent.com. Arcadeevent.com. You can register for the event. And then also, if you guys want to order t-shirts, you can do that on the site, even if you're not attending, okay? And then I'm going to be adding international options this week, because I know a lot of guys in the UK and the Netherlands want to order the shirts that cannot make the event, and we're going to be adding the international options maybe tonight, actually, or tomorrow. So go to arcadeevent.com. All right, that's it. And then, of course, check out my podcast, Arcade Outsiders at arcadeoutsiders.com, Video Game Outsiders at videogameoutsiders.com, and You Suck Show at yousuckshow.com. And I guess check out my other YouTube channel, John Sucks at Video Games, if you want to see me streaming PC games on Twitch and all that, and also my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/BLKDOG7. All right, we're done. So, all right, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you very soon. Later, and bye.